Hey everybody, this is Eric Worre and welcome to NetworkMarketingPro.com. I'm here with network marketing legend, superstar, highest earner I've ever met in network marketing, $80 million man, plus grows every single minute, Mr. Jeff Roberti. Jeff called and asked me if I'd come to Memphis and kind of last minute thing, come participate in a leadership event that he had here, and I owe a debt to Jeff as an early mentor of mine, and also happened to be traveling to Tennessee to do part of the network marketing documentary. So told him okay, and we decided to do that today, and had a great time, and thought we'd since we had the camera here, pull the camera out and talk for a few minutes. But welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. As always, the other interview that we did is certainly one of my favorites. I think it's a classic. You put so much value into that, it's unbelievable. But talk about whatever you want to talk about. You have your notes here. I don't know if you.
Well, I took a lot of notes today, Eric. When you did your training, it was fabulous.
Thanks.
Really, really good. You know, I'm a big believer of having a journal and taking really good notes and always learning, always growing. Taking it in, and not only taking notes as if you're taking notes for yourself, but taking notes as if you want to teach it. The fastest path to mastery is to not only apply it in your own life, but to teach it and share it with someone else. And what you shared today, the content was...
Did some of it look familiar?
I heard some of it before. It was, it was packaged a little bit differently, but it was outstanding, and it was just such an honor and a pleasure and a real treat for all of us here to have you come speak at our leadership event we had this weekend.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking today, and we were reminiscing, telling old stories, because he and I were part of the same company way back 27 years ago, 26 years ago, and there's some things that we were talking about while we were reminiscing, and one of them was the Sunday night calls. So share with people this concept of the Sunday night calls and what you did as you were growing your organization and building to a massive growth.
Well, I think what we were talking about is I think you went through the 7 different skills, and as we were going through the skills, that came up as one of the inviting people, and we talked about, at least what I had shared is when you've made a decision, first of all, the most important step in any relationship is the selection process. And as an example with Cheryl, I knew of Cheryl. I didn't know Cheryl.
He's talking about Cheryl Cortese.
Cheryl Cortese, who you just had an interview with. And, I didn't know Cheryl, but I certainly wanted to get to know Cheryl and have Cheryl as part of the team, and was, very persistent with Cheryl to get her to at least take a look. And, one of the things I shared is, that persistence with someone, and just even like we had talked about on a Sunday night. I've always found Sunday night was a great night to call people, because psychologically they're dreading Monday morning. Most people don't, love what they do Monday morning to go work for someone else. So that was So you
made it a habit on Sunday night to call prospects, because you knew they were kind of like, thinking maybe negatively about going into another week of something that wasn't filling them up to their full potential. So you on purpose knew that.
Yeah.
So every Sunday night you just bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
Well,
I called them other nights than Sunday night, but Sunday night was kind of prime time. I knew that Sunday night, you just know that people are, they're home, most people.
Yep.
And like I said,
the weekend activities
the
are
weekend's
pretty much
over, and here we go into the work week, and phone rings, and a lot of times they knew it was me. It was that Sunday night call, and I was just persistent, and was able to get Cheryl Cortese in the business, and a lot of other great leaders that I recruited.
Talk to me about persistence, because some people have this concept, and I think one of a little overused concept in network marketing is some will, some won't, so what next? If you share it with somebody and they say, no, I'm not interested, boom, you forget about them, you never call. Fine, they rejected me. You kind of emotionally stiff-arm them, and you move on, and you don't give them a chance. So, talk to me about, because you were talking about Cheryl over the course of 2 or 3 months. You might have called and talked to her 30 or 40 times.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't give up.
30 or 40 times, people. Okay,
yeah.
for a person who's earned now $25 million or so over the course of the last 27 years. Do you think that was worth doing?
Yeah.
And how do you keep calling and keep that moving? How do you keep it active?
Well, you know, first of all, I didn't just call her. You know,
Right.
I didn't just stop with her and just only talk to her. I mean, it was, you know, I was still talking to 10, 20, 30 plus people every day. But like I said, the most important step in any relationship is the selection process. And I had known of Cheryl and the success she had had briefly with another company, and that company she was no longer involved there. And I thought, wow, if I could get Cheryl, you know, she's got, you know, the skills, she's got the talent. And, you know, so I just stayed persistent with her. And finally, I got her. I came into her area. I started my campaign. I had some...
But before you get to starting the campaign, tell me, what did you say?
It's your interview. I guess we'll let you...
What did you say?
I was just getting warmed up there,
so
I was ready to go.
I'll get you back to that stage in a second. But you call her the first time, she says, I'm not interested. And then you call her the second time. What do you say?
I say, why are you not interested? I don't know what I said.
But then I'm just trying to say, I know you talked to her 20, 30 times.
Yeah,
over the course of a short period of time. Was there, you know, you're interested now, or, you know, I want to tell you a new story? How did you keep the conversation going without feeling like it was shut down and over?
Well, you know, first of all, I came from such a position of strength.
Yeah.
You know, as far as just being bulletproof, just having that voice of authority, that congruency, that passion. And, you know, people can feel that. Mm-hmm. And, you know, even though she was not receptive at first, you know, I was committed to getting Cheryl to take a look at this. And I wasn't just going to take a blind no as an answer.
Right.
You know, I wanted her at least to, you know, to educate her where she could get the facts and make an intelligent decision. So, but don't make any mistake. You know, I certainly kept moving forward and talking to lots of people in the meantime, and it was a process. You know, recruiting sometimes is not just a single event, it's a process. You know, it's a series of exposures. It's a series of, you know, just dripping on that person and staying persistent. I mean, I got a lady I've been out in the business 17 years later, and she's one of our top producers. But I've talked to tens of thousands of people in the meantime. So, you know, it's just, you know, there's just nothing like leading by example. You know, being the best distributor in your organization, always holding yourself accountable, setting real high standards. And, you know, when you get a chance to share this opportunity with a producer like a Cheryl Cortese, you know, you stay after them, you know, until you know, and I actually got Cheryl. I mean, the story, Eric, if you really want to know the truth is I got her by fear of loss. You know, I came into New Orleans, I started my campaign, I had the thing blowing and going, the phones were ringing off the hook. This was, you know, back then before social media and social networking and all this stuff today, you know, where you actually talk to a person face to face, and the phones were ringing off the hook. I had all these groups of people together, and, you know, I told the company story, the product story, the opportunity story. You know, at the end, I said, what did you like best about this, right? Did you see an opportunity? Are you prepared to get started? Here's what you need to do next. And I had a bunch of people wanting to sign up. And I looked at Cheryl and I said, they're either yours or they're mine. And she said, well, I guess they're mine.
I'll take them.
I'll take them. And so she came into the business, and, you know, we started working 8 to faint and just going after it day and night. And next thing you know, Cheryl's become one of the top producers, not only in our company, but one of the top female producers in the world, and one of my best friends in the world. So more than the money, more than the business, you know, the relationship and the love and the growth and the contribution that we've gone through over the last 25 plus years has been priceless. So I put a much higher price tag on that than the money. And her organization does, you know, $2-3 million a month in business.
Wow.
And I get paid on a little bit of that. You know,
Yeah.
it's been good.
It's been good. It's been okay.
It's been okay.
Yeah, you can
that part's good too. I mean,
pay the bills. Yeah, yeah.
But you know, it's just it's one of those things. You know, if you want something bad enough, you know, we talk about you can go into the GoPro and get into the 90, all these things. At the end of the day, I'm looking for somebody that's dissatisfied. And I knew she was dissatisfied. She had had an experience, had some success, was no longer involved there. Things were going on in her life, and you know, the timing, you know, it wasn't perfect at first, but as I was still there and consistent, the timing all of a sudden became, you know, good for her, you know, going through some things that she went through in her life. But, you know, as far as, you know, having that desire, you know, I tell people, you know, what do you look for, Jeff? I look for people that are dissatisfied, that are hungry, that have a desire, they're willing to work, and they're teachable. And you know, and then just going in there and not telling them what to do. Distributors don't do what you tell them to do; they do what you do. You know, and inspiring them, leading by example, and going in there and doing what I've talked about in the other interview: the tell, show, try, do. You tell them, you show them, they try it, and they do it. And you duplicate that. How am I doing so far?
You're doing good, man. So many lessons in this. I want people to understand the persistence. I really do, because you are a great example of persistence for me over the period of time where I observed it and I watched as a student to a teacher type of a situation. Persistence is really important. So many of the $1 million earners involved in network marketing and the six-figure earners are only in because one person decided that they were going to stay persistent with that person until they at least understood what it is that they had. One person made a decision that says, no, I'm not going to just walk away from this person. I'm going to stay in touch. I'm going to keep reaching out. And I think that persistence message is really, really important. And then also going in and helping that person get a quick start. Getting some results, getting a product story or service story, getting a check, getting that first month, that first 30 days. Talk about the importance of that first 30-day story.
Well, you know, and we talked about that today. You know, I tell people, look, do you want to go fast or do you want to go slow? You know, it's easier to be successful in life and make a fortune than it is making a living. And what you do your first 30 days in this business, you'll be telling that story for the rest of the time you're involved in your network marketing career with that company. And so, you know, there's nothing like grabbing that new man enthusiasm, launching that person, jumping into their warm market, and really getting them off to a fast start that first 30 days. And, you know, you just get really good at that. You know, one of the things I tell people is, as a leader, how do you show up? You know, showing up in a peak resourceful state, showing up, like I said, with that confidence, that enthusiasm, you know, just being bulletproof, coming in there and just saying, okay, I've got this, and I could show you how to do it. And that you know, success breeds success. You know, I've had people tell me, Jeff, if it's half as good as you make it sound, I'm in. Let's go. And you know, the other thing is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And they truly know that I am there to add, first of all, to meet their needs. I don't go into a relationship to get, I go into a relationship to give. I'm not measuring what I get in return. In other words, you're putting their needs ahead of your own. Their needs, not your needs. You're adding massive value to their lives, whether it's with your product, your opportunity, the personal growth that they're experiencing, belonging, being part of something, And then the other thing is creating those raving fan relationships. Long-term relationships equal long-term success. So you get really good at launching people. You know, you go in there, like you talk about, you know, putting on those 20 new recruits in 30 days, fully engaged, fully immersed, taking all-out massive action. And when you lock arms with somebody like that, you find one of those, what I call the 5%ers. You know, 80% are going to do it sometime, part-time or no time. You manage them by group, you love them for where they're at, and you have a lot of people do it a little. 15% will play at whatever level they're going to play at, but when you find one of those 5%ers, you jump in there and you chase their business from here to China. And you launch them, you get them off to a fast start. And so that's, you know, and then you just keep doing that over and over again.
Right.
You know, you stay in the production stage, the building stage. You never find yourself falling into the management stage.
Sure.
Or becoming an overseer of the managers, or even worse, becoming an overseer of the overseers that oversee the managers that manage the producers.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be funny.
We don't have an audience for that.
Well, they got a peanut gallery here. But you know, it's late. It's 11 o'clock at night. We've been blowing and going all day. I had a glass of wine. I tell people my best trainings is after a glass of wine, by the way. You want to get the real deal. It's not in the meeting room. It's, you know, sitting around talking. But you know, Cheryl, I got to brag on Cheryl a little bit. The thing I love about Cheryl is, you know, Cheryl Cortese, she's just got this huge heart, you know, and she's a giver.
Yep.
You know, that's what I was looking for. Is somebody not only has the skills, but doesn't operate from here, but operates from here. And, you know, when you find that type of person that truly give love first, and it'll come back to you. Yeah. You know, I'll give you an example. You know, I just came out on this trip, and I've been doing this now for, you know, this company for over 27 years. And just 2 weeks before I went on this trip, we had the memorial service for my brother. He had had a heart attack. He had seizures. He went unconscious, and he was on life support for 2 months. And Paulie was my best friend growing up. You know, just 2.5 years apart. You know, and I'm having talks with my mother about this, and you know, his wife of 25 years, and it was a very, very trying time for our family. And I found myself, you know, after, you know, he finally passed away, and I was sitting at home, and you know, and just really saying, Jeff, give this an empowering meeting. He's with the Lord. He's in a better place. There's no more pain. There's no more suffering. You know, there's peace, and it's always hardest on the living. Sure. And I found myself, you know, with my mom and his wife and the rest of the family, you know, really trying to be the rock for everyone. And then, you know, I had these meetings and these trainings lined up, and, you know, sometimes you just don't, I almost didn't go. And when I decided to go, and I went to the first meeting, I was down in San Antonio before I went up to Michigan, and now down here, and I went into the room, and I said, you know what, Jeff, go out there, be with the people, and give love first. Right. And the love that came back was overwhelming. And I realized I was exactly where I needed to be, was to take this pain, to grow from it, to become more and have more to give. Yeah. And you know, that's when I think about Cheryl, is Cheryl and I, we do this business today because we love what we do. We get to add value to people's lives. And there's so much emotional and spiritual revenue that we receive with these relationships and this love and this growth. I mean, you're always the happiest in life when you're growing, aren't you? True. When there's progress. Progress equals happiness. You know, when you get to contribute, when you put, you know, make an impact, do something that counts in life, something that matters, you know. And so the thing that I love about Cheryl is we decided years ago not to retire from our business, but to retire into our business. You know, and you know, when I went through some health challenges myself a few years ago, and you know, and I got a second chance, and I said, you know what, Jeff, never let your comfort get in the way of your calling. Never forget where you came from. Never forget the day that you filled out your application and what it meant to you. That somebody cared enough about you to share this product or service, to share this opportunity, and how it changed your life. So today we play at the level we play at out of inspiration, because we truly want to give back. Right. You know, and I truly believe in life. Life's not happening to me, life's happening for me. You know, and to be able to be involved in something like this, and to be able to, you know, because, you know, people always focus on what's wrong in life. Well, you know what's also available? What's right in life. You know, and when you're grateful in life, when gratitude is your primary emotion, fear can't exist. Yeah. You know, so go to a place of gratitude and be grateful and focus on what's great in life. And always learn, always grow from anything in life. So Cheryl and I, you know, we've been almost like a, you know, well, I shouldn't even say the company, because we're not supposed to say company. You can edit that part, by the way. But we're, you know, Cheryl, Cheryl and I, you know, we're like partners in this business. Yeah. You know, we work there's such a good chemistry. You know, it's really great to have somebody, you know, that you find that your values are in alignment, your mission is in alignment. We're focused on inspiring healthy living around the world, making a difference, you know, to provide a stable and lasting company that can help as many other people realize their dreams. So, you know, here it is, 11, 12 o'clock at night. We're still going. You know, we're still doing this, still sharing. And you know, and the thing that I have to say, Eric, that I respect and admire the most about you, and you know, we go way back, is you play from your heart. You know, you're a giver. Thanks. And the impact that you've made on this industry. You know, and when you asked me to speak at the event last year, I had never spoken outside my company. I've always focused on, you know, it's like you got to do 1,000 things well. You do a handful of things 1,000 times over well. And I was like, you know what? I'm focused and I'm on what I do here. I don't have time for all these other companies or programs or this or that. But when you talked to me about it, I thought, you know what? Eric is making such a huge impact, such a difference. And here's a chance, Jeff, to not only give back to your company and people that you have a relationship with here, but to take it and share it and give back to the industry that's been so good to you. Yeah, and I will tell you, everybody loved what you did last year, and I was honored that you agreed to come for the first time. I know it was a big step, but I'm also honored that you agreed to come back and speak at, I've already posted up our interview that we did, the very first interview that we did just last week, just to let people know that you're coming. You came for the first time last year, and you kind of soaked it in. For a person that hasn't been there before, what would you tell them about the experience of being there, and if they should attend? Well, you know, there's paying activities in our business. We all know, you know, what the paying activities are. Paying? Paying. Oh, I thought it sounded like pain. No, paying. P-A-Y-I-N-G. Paying. Okay, got it. I'm speaking English over here, by the way. Okay. I understand. Paying Sometimes activities. I don't speak English. I mean, paying activities. Yes. The paying activities is what? Sharing your product, sharing your opportunity, building relationships, the follow-up, the events. You know, there's paying activities. Well, one of the non-negotiable paying activities is, of course, your company, if they have a conference, you learn to master these major impending events, whether it's the Super Bowl or the World Cup for your company. But now, with what you're doing, that is a non-negotiable paying activity. People come to that once a year. They spend the 2, 3, 4 days fully immersed in that. And you know, I remember when Jim Rohn said, Jeff, no one person has all the answers. Gather from many sources and take it all in, and then find out what works for you. Blend it in. But that event, the GoPro, your once-a-year mastery event that you put on, is a non-negotiable paying activity. You go there. You take the notes, you play full out, you'll leave there with a PhD in direct sales, network marketing, social marketing, whatever you want to call it, and you'll come out of there on fire. You'll be flying so high you won't even need a plane to get home after leaving there. What did you feel about the event being safe? Like people weren't recruiting? You know what? That's the other thing I respected, the way you put that on. And you laid the rules out. You said this is a non-recruiting environment. You know, everybody plays nice. You know, you don't have your products or your service out. You're not trying to talk to people about what you're doing. And I don't care if you're a brand new guest or the top earner, the top speaker. There's no, you know, there's a zero tolerance. You told me you've even had one time that's out. The first time last year we had to kick out 2 people, two high leaders that just couldn't help themselves. So what you've created is a safe environment for people to learn and grow. That's what I wanted to be. And it's really something. And, you know, it's kind of neat for me because I don't really know what's going on out there in the industry. I'm focused on, you know, my company and what I'm doing. I do one thing and I do it really well, and I've never got distracted. But it was kind of neat and kind of refreshing to see some of the other leaders in these other companies, and to, you know, and to share with them and to build those relationships. And, you know, I mean, there's plenty of room out there for all of us in this industry. You know, you don't need to push, you don't need to shove, you don't need to be rude. rude or try and be greedy. Our industry really is just in its infancy stage.
It is. It's
it's really just getting started. What is it? $170 billion a year in sales worldwide.
Yep.
This is a profession. This is a method of distribution that I'm very, very proud about being part of.
Yeah.
Most people, they don't really realize what they have here, and I love the fact that you're doing. I'm talking a lot, aren't I?
I love it.
All right. I love the fact that you're doing this documentary.
Yeah.
About the industry, because most people don't understand what we're all about, the credibility, the integrity of what we have here.
Yeah.
There's always bad apples in any business.
Sure.
Right? No matter what it is. But tell you what, we've got something here that's really special.
We're going to tear it up. We got going now, didn't we?
See that? One glass of wine, it's all it took.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you gotten some value here. We did this impromptu, kind of last-second type of situation. But anytime an icon, a legend in the network marketing profession is willing to sit down and have a conversation in front of a camera, I'm going to turn the camera on and I'm going to send it to you because I just think it's fun to be able to share these ideas, share these stories, and I hope you got value from this. I hope you did. I did. And I hope you're planning, if you don't already have your ticket for the GoPro Recruiting Mastery, August 11th, the remaining tickets are going to go on sale. Make sure you mark your calendar. We'll be letting everybody know on that day. And I think there's about 1,600 tickets left. And we're going to sell out at 8,000 people. And it's going to be spectacular. So that's our show for today. Ladies and gentlemen, our wish for all of you is that you decide to become a network marketing professional. You decide to go pro, because it is a stone cold fact that we have a better way. Now let's go tell the world. Everybody have a great day. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Peanut gallery?
Yay! Nice work.